Hello everyone, this is AJ. Welcome to this first episode of my weekly watch roundup. So basically what this is, weekly, I'm going to sit down, talk about the stuff I've been doing in the week, stuff I've been watching, because I don't review all of it. So this is that. So yeah, welcome. Let's just get into it. Okay, so this week here now, from sort of Boxing Day up to now, obviously it's been a hectic week, it's been Christmas week, it's been New Year's, so you know what sort of stuff people get up to, but nevertheless I have been watching stuff. So as you know, first thing I watched really was Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I have done a review for, and I found it to be thoroughly enjoyable, a surprise. I wasn't expecting too much from it, given what 2016 gave to us, and thusly, yeah, I won't go into it in detail because, like I said, I've reviewed it, so you can go and check that out if you so wish. Dexter, yep, latest episode of Dexter I watched this morning. Now, this is episode 9 of the current series, Dexter New Blood. Fantastic series. It's got its issues and that, but it's fantastic seeing Dexter, the character of Dexter, back on the screens. Especially considering Michael C. Hall, who plays the title character, has managed to step back into the role effortlessly, like he's never been away from it. So, fantastic stuff. The series finale, or season finale, remains to be seen, is next week. I have been reviewing this series on a weekly basis, and yes, very good. Star Trek Discovery, I watched the latest episode of that, being the last episode until mid-February. Now this is a series that I do watch, I do review, but my reviews are not particularly great in that I find the series to be somewhat lackluster. The writing is pretty terrible, and at the moment this current series it fails in that there's no real antagonist. All you've got are the members of the crew themselves sort of bickering amongst themselves and working out problems. There's no real main antagonist in the show at this stage, aside from this anomaly that's causing issues. We'll see what happens in February when that comes back. Now, this morning, 2 AM, I couldn't sleep last night, so I decided to watch the Doctor Who New Year's special. Okay, I didn't watch the last series of Doctor Who, Flux was it called? I watched the first episode, I switched off about halfway through, I couldn't handle it. I may go back to it. I don't particularly like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. And this latest episode, which runs for an hour, is a Groundhog Day style story. Now, I have issues with Groundhog Day style stories, in that generally I find that the narrative doesn't move along. Because you've got the repetitive nature of revisiting each day, it's very difficult to break that sort of cycle of putting a narrative within it that's interesting. The only one of recent I can say that has done a good job of that was the movie Palm Springs. So this episode of Doctor Who I found to be rather boring, and I'm just waiting for it to end. Not only that, but they've now decided to give the Doctor a potential female love interest. Yes, the Doctor is now lesbian, because it's a she at this current moment in time. Okay, so, I mean, this is obviously the last series of Jodie Whittaker. She's doing some specials, and Russell T Davies is coming back on. Now, Russell T Davies was the show creator who created the show back in, or brought the show back in 2005 with Christopher Eccleston and then David Tennant. Now, that's great news that he's coming back, but in itself, I don't know, because you know, you've got to think 16 years, 17 years have passed since he started it and brought it back then. He hasn't worked on it for about 12 years. and thusly, as a creator, he may have changed in his ways, and he's going to have to tick certain boxes that the BBC will undoubtedly want. So we could still be in trouble. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, Cobra Kai. Yeah, I'm 6 episodes in to the current series of Cobra Kai. I plan on watching the rest tonight. Fantastic series. This is season 4. The continuation of the Karate Kid franchise, and it's a brilliant show. It's fantastic. Johnny Lawrence is a fantastic character. He was LaRusso's arch nemesis in the first couple of Karate Kid films, the blonde guy, and he's the primary protagonist for the show, along with Daniel LaRusso. But he's a fantastic character, very interesting to watch because he walks this grey path. Now, the show isn't particularly woke or anything like that, which is fantastic because as a character, Johnny Lawrence himself doesn't understand wokeness. He doesn't understand how to talk to women or things like this. So he's very sort of, a sort of sexual bigot and this sort of thing. So it takes the programme out of feeling like it's trying to tick certain boxes and this sort of thing. So it's a fantastic watch. It's a lot of fun. It's currently airing on Netflix. It has been picked up for another season next year. So all good. So if that's something you haven't watched, I would recommend watching it. Now today I went to see SpiderMan No Way Home for a second time with the wife, and she absolutely loved it. It is in my top 10 favourite films of the year, but it's not number one. It's probably mid-table. For me, the film does have issues. It has some pacing issues. It has stuff that it does in the story that I don't particularly like. I don't like stuff with Ned that they do with him and the magic powers. It kind of weakens what Doctor Strange is all about and the effort that he had to put in, the stuff he had to go through to learn magic. And I know there's this throwaway line about Ned having it in his, in his family in the past, magic and all this sort of thing. But, stuff like that I didn't really enjoy. I feel that a couple of the characters, of the past didn't really step back into the roles as well as they could have done, in that it notices that they've been away from these roles for a considerable amount of time. But, I can understand people's excitement for it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm more excited for Doctor Strange 2. The trailer for that does a lot more than what the trailers for these have done for me. I think it might be the same issue that I have with the new Batman film coming, that there's been so many Batman films prior that I can't get excited for a brand new one. And thusly the same goes for Spider-Man, that I didn't feel the excitement levels, even though you were getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and some of the villains back into it. I just didn't, the excitement levels didn't ramp up for me that much. What else have I watched this week? What else has begun? Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett. Again, I watched that. It was okay. It's great to see Star Wars back. It's great to see Boba Fett. However, that being said, I feel that Star Wars needs to step away from Tatooine. There's such a vast galaxy, rich galaxy of worlds out there that we have seen bits and pieces of throughout the other Star Wars series and films and this sort of thing, that all we keep getting is a return to Tatooine, and it's getting boring. And this show, although I can understand people's excitement for it, when you break it down, it's another series of The Mandalorian. It's got The Mandalorian, it's got the setting that most of where The Mandalorian was set, and not only that, it's got the visual aesthetic of The Mandalorian. You've got a character who's in Mandalorian armour, just coloured differently. So you're essentially watching the same thing. I'd like to see something different. I'm probably a bit more interested in is it Cassian Andor, the series based on that? I am interested in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but again, that's going to be set on Tatooine, and that part just like, it's like, ugh, you know what I mean? It always has to be a desert planet. Anyway, enough of that. So what else? I finish up with the movie Don't Look Up. Yes, the Netflix movie Don't Look Up, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. Is that her name? You know, Katniss Everdeen, or whatever her name was. Yeah, it's Jennifer Lawrence. Kate Blanchett is in it, and this film is, on face value, is about a meteorite that's heading towards Earth and is gonna destroy Earth. Now, I didn't review this film just because I haven't had the time to, and thusly I'll just speak about it here. Now, what the film ultimately is about is a commentary on today's sort of society, in that how we're all obsessed with our mobile phones, how we're obsessed with ratings and numbers and likes and this sort of thing, all the way from presidential level down to your average Joe on the ground. The film's title, Don't Look Up, has a double meaning to it. Number one meaning, obviously, face value, don't look up, there's an asteroid coming. The other side of it is mobile phone, don't look up. You don't look up, you don't see the world and what's going on in the world. Everyone is too obsessed with celebrity and all this sort of thing, and that's what the film is primarily about. It's got some great acting in it. Jonah Hill is a standout in it. Kate Blanchett, she looks amazing in it, and she's a standout. Leonardo DiCaprio, brilliant in the film. He usually delivers in most films that he does, and this is a film that I could easily recommend for you to watch. Yeah, it has got that sci-fi element to it, but like I said, ultimately it's more of a sociological statement on how society is, and from every level, top to bottom. But yeah, so anyway, so that was it. That's the stuff I've been watching this week. So I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, this is just an idea that I'm toying with, a sort of weekly watch roundup. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, as usual, whether you like this idea, whether you don't. Time will tell. It's a new year, new ideas. Some might work, some might not. But anyway, this is AJ. Why not consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, hitting the notification bell, leaving me a comment down below. I do respond to all comments. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time. And I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.